didn't really get lost, but my phone did.
Your phone did.
Yeah.
I was genuinely worried about you.
I know. I felt bad.
Yeah. So they're coming and they're going to do the podcast with us. Yeah.
I don't think it's a sexy gun.
It feels pretty good in the hand, though, right?
Well, I can't quite tell with this one because it's got this mechanism to turn on the flashlight every time you grip it, which is very smart.
This is the glory hole.
Spear.
The Spear Fury. What is it?
So why'd they kick you out of the show?
I think because like a rival gun store owner in town. What's going on and how are you? Welcome to Sharko's Tactical Podcast, episode 12. My name is Will Mead. I am the owner of Sharko's Tactical, and I'm here with my homies. I have Omer Eisen.
Hello.
I have Dean Carroll, the illustrious, the amazing.
Absolutely amazing, Dean Carroll.
And I have the very tardy and lost Luke Andrews.
I'm sorry. I humbly apologize.
What happened to you, Luke?
I had a flight delay, and I missed yesterday, so we had to bump the podcast.
No. You missed yesterday. What's day?
Monday and
you
yesterday.
Missed Monday and Tuesday and Saturday.
I did, yes.
Our dogs are fighting. Sorry. They're all jacked up. So how did you not have a phone in the airport?
So I was getting on my flight home, and it was a late flight, and I was going through security. It was really busy, and I thought it would be great. You know, I'll put all my electronics, everything in my pockets in my backpack. That's all I had. And put everything in there, went through security. Everything was fine. And then I get to my gate, and I'm loading it onto the plane. They said that we don't have any more overhead baggage.
You don't stick your backpack underneath the seat in front of you?
That's what I said. I said, can I do that? They said, no. So they said, we'll check it. We'll check it and, take it on the plane.
You don't fly very often, huh?
I don't. And I gave it to the lady, and she took it. And then as the door was closing, I realized my phone was in there. So I raw dogged the flight, as the kids say nowadays.
What does that mean?
You just sit there. You don't like read, or you don't play on your phone. You just sit there.
For how many hours?
It was only 2.5, so it wasn't that bad. But
did you talk to the person next to you?
No.
What did you do?
I just sat there. I know all the emergency protocols for a Boeing.
What airline was it?
I don't want to say.
Oh, now you got it.
It was Delta.
Really?
Yeah.
I love Delta.
They didn't have the free DVR, DVD thing in front of you?
They did, but I didn't have headphones. So
they give away free headphones.
Yeah.
They didn't give them out.
You didn't think to say, "Hey, nice lady who took my phone away, can I have free headphones?"
It was a nice challenge. I had the map where it showed you where the plane was.
Free headphones.
They didn't usually give them out.
You could have put on the fucking dogs. I have 10 dogs, and I bring a couple of them to work every day. Today I brought Bear, and I have 4 dogs at work today, and Bear's a big German Shepherd, and he's fighting with my 2 Timberwolves. Because my wife is here, and Bear likes my wife. No, whatever. If you want to take him to the back, that's fine. It might be less noisy. What do you think, Eric? Nah, he gives a fuck, right?
Raw dog.
So back to, don't you know you could have chose the subtitles and just read it?
Yeah, but I heard about this and I wanted to try it.
What, you heard about being miserable on a plane and you're like, that's for me.
I wanted to give it a shot.
It's a thing?
Raw dogging a flight is a thing, yeah. That's where you just sit there and you stare at the back of the seat in front of you for the entire duration of the flight. It's supposed to be a way of kind of unwinding the damage that doom scrolling does.
It sucked though. It was.
I can't imagine. I put on headphones and listen to books.
Yeah.
I just listened to the history of Black Sabbath, the band.
Nice.
From Geezer Butler.
You got to think about it. Your brain's receiving information pretty much nonstop. You're stimulating it all day long, and any moment where you're not doing something, you get bored instantly. I feel like being able to just sit there and do nothing, that's admirable.
I mean, okay. I mean, that's
that's something, right?
So, but you're back.
I'm back.
You're back. Did your
good.
did your brother have his kid?
Not yet. No, I went
you-
up.
so
I
you-
went up there hoping.
You abandoned your post.
I did.
You abandoned your post. You abandoned us during it was Suppressor
Suppressor
Fest. We needed you.
I know.
You left to go to Michigan, and your brother didn't even have his kid.
I know.
And then you got lost on the plane.
I got lost in. I didn't really get lost, but my phone did.
Your phone did.
Yeah.
I was genuinely worried about you.
I know. I felt bad.
I was
I
really
thought something happened.
yeah. I was like, fuck, he got in a car accident or something.
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
really terrified. And I was like, it's all my fault.
Because it wasn't like you not to answer the phone.
Yeah.
Just kind of dip, and it was like
He's rushing to get back to work, and I killed him. Because you would have stayed in like if you didn't work here, you probably would have stayed in Michigan for like a week, right?
Probably. Yeah.
Yeah, you would have stayed there. Like your parents were like, oh yeah, let's hang out and we'll. Don't you guys like worship the bear in Michigan?
No.
Worship the bear. And, no,
No. Just normal.
didn't you hear that? They worship the bear.
I've never heard this.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. So we have some events coming up, which are kind of cool. Do you remember your first Glockoween?
I do.
Yeah.
Everybody do you remember?
Oh yeah.
I remember my first. Everyone said they were going to dress up, so I dressed up.
No one did.
Nobody else did.
And nobody else did. What did you dress up as?
I dressed up as Walter from The Big Lebowski. With
I have no recollection of that.
really?
Yeah, I have no recollection.
I was kind of in the back with Chris doing background checks and stuff. So, but
Was it? What did your costume look like?
I had like the khaki vest and the yellow shooting glasses and a red bandana, and I carried a
John
nice-
Candy or John Goodman.
Yeah, John. Yeah,
Okay, so you
And I-
dressed up like. Did you carry 1911?
of course.
Is that the whole idea?
Yeah.
So, Sharkos, what we do events inside the shop. It started a long time ago, and one of the events we do every year is Glockoween. And Glock will only do a in-store event once a year, and so we chose, so we could use the word Glockoween, we chose for them to come in the middle or the end of October every year. And every year they come and it's Glockoween. And it's been going on, how many years you guys think?
5, 4, 5.
5 maybe?
Yeah.
And what we did to spice it up was everybody dresses up in costumes. Whoever has the best costume wins a prize. And we usually take a Glock and we trick it out with optics and flashlight and different things. And it turns out pretty cool. Like we always have at least 20 people enter.
And Luke.
Do you remember when the kid said we shot a suppressor and somebody dressed up like a penis? We had this kid who said that we shot a suppressor on Reddit. This kid bought a Surefire suppressor from us, and he said he came in and picked up the stamp, and he's like, "This has been shot." I'm like, "Well, yeah, it's been test fired, and by Surefire." And he got kind of aggro about it, and then we opened up the other RC2s inside the case, and look, they all look the same. It's all the same. And then he went on Reddit and flamed us, and somebody, and I did a live feed about it and talked about it, and then so somebody for the costume dressed up as a large penis with a sign that said, "You shot my can." Why are you looking at me that way? You don't want me to tell that story. My wife is just looking at me with these. Don't say that. That. But we have other events coming. We have Ammo Fest this weekend. We're building a pallet of ammo in the shop right now that we're just going to blow out because we need the room for other guns. We've got Huck's Work. We have a 2-day SIG event. We have HK Day. We have Q Day. We're getting into the prime events season to culminate with our birthday celebration at the end of the year. And at the birthday celebration, we do Dead Air and Dana Defense and Beretta. And last year we had Mike Pappas come. Remember that?
Yeah.
Did you say Q Day?
Yeah, we are.
That's all he heard.
Oh, do you not know?
I don't know.
Oh, yeah. So they're coming and they're going to do the podcast with us. Yeah. You didn't know?
He's pitching a tent.
They love you.
Yeah?
Oh, yeah. They really think you're cool.
No way.
They do. They could just be lying to me.
I'm all giddy now.
Because we had I just got back from Reno, and I went to the Worldwide Buy Group show with Andrew, and we sold like between 500 to 700 guns, I think. And we had dinner with Q again, so they took us out again and had dinner with them. And yeah, they think you're cool.
They asked about Omar during dinner.
They do. They ask about Omar. They ask about him. Like, we really like that guy. He's really cool. And me being insecure, I'm like, fuck, they're gonna try to hire him. Fuck.
He's my Omar.
My Omar. But I won a I didn't win, but I qualified like for all expense paid trip to New Hampshire, me and my wife, to build honey badgers.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
I tried to tell them that we probably don't have time to do it, and can you just send me one? But they're like, won't your wife want to come? I'm like, yeah, she'll probably want to come. So, but we can go to New Hampshire and take a tour of the Q factory and build a honey badger. Do you want to do that?
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, but
Congrats.
so with Q Day, they're going to come, and guy's name is Alec. He's a really cool guy. He's going to come, and he knows a lot about, like, he's total firearm geek and knows a lot about firearms. He worked in a gun shop, and now he works for Q. And he also he's a soldier from the IDF, which is kind of, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, real neat stuff. And he's got all kinds of stories about Israel and about people over there, and knows a lot of people. He's a cool guy. We like Q. He can sit right next to you, bud.
You definitely got to put him next to Omar.
You're right. Do you guys know I got married in the shop?
Yeah.
Yeah, so like the first event we did, I think, ever, I got married in my gun shop back when it was like 800 square feet. Like, my gun shop now is pretty big, but back in the day, it was only 800 square feet, and then 200 square feet of it was the gunsmithing area. And so 600 square feet, and me and my wife decided to get married, and it was the best decision I've ever made in my whole entire life. But I mean, you know, none of you fellows are married, but so I was like, all right, let's just fucking do it. And so I was like, let's just make a sale out of it, and we made like Will's wedding, and that was like, I think, the first event we ever did.
Yeah.
We had a sale, and there was 50 people in the store buying guns. And then in the middle of the day, I'm like, all right, I got to go get married. And we had this defrocked pastor. Like, he was from the Church of the Nazarene. He was a real pastor, but he was not allowed to be a pastor in the Church of the Nazarene anymore. And he fucking married us in the back, right next to the Colts.
Nice.
Yeah. And then what happened, like, so we were doing gun shows back then, and there's a circuit of gun shows called the Two Guys Gun Show in Florida. And when we were at the major gun show of Florida, like just the Florida gun shows, the off weekends we did the Two Guys. And one weekend I called to make sure we had tables, and the promoter is like, no. And I said, I called you twice and made sure we had tables. I'm like, no, we just don't want you at our gun show anymore.
Oh.
Yeah. And I was like, really? Are you sure about that? And he's like, yep. I said, I booked you. He's like, nope, we don't want you there anymore. And he said something, you know, philosophical or smart or something like that. And, you know, maybe you change the way you do business. And I said, all right. And then I called Lori, freaking out, like, what the fuck do we do? And because we bought all this shit to sell at the gun show, and we had no way to move it. And she's like, why don't we just have a gun show at the shop? And so back then, Facebook, we weren't totally shadow banned, and I just advertised it and gave away ammo, and everybody came and bought all the guns that we would normally do. And that started the whole event thing.
So why'd they kick you out of the show?
I think because, like, a rival gun store owner in town who doesn't like me. I've never met the guy. I've never really met him, talked to him or anything, but I think he had more pull at the show. And I think people were angry because we sold things too cheaply. Like, we would just give, you know, like, we didn't have hardly any employees and stuff, so we could give really, really fucking good deals. And everybody would get mad because I'd just be selling guns to everybody, and everyone else would be sitting around, and they'd get furious. And then one day... I'm sure they have their own version of the story, but that's. I mean, I didn't do anything wrong. I didn't like take a shit and stick it in like a guy's lunchbox
Shit on
or
someone's
anything.
table.
I didn't like shit on somebody's table or anything. But so that happened, and then so we would do different gun show at the shop, and then we would do like we do suppressor events with the lawyer, and then somehow we started. Oh, one year I went to SHOT Show. I think the year Trump won in office, and I started going around to manufacturers and saying, "Hey, would you like to do a manufacturer's day? You know, would you like to come?" And because we do these things called gun show at the shop, and it would be cool if I had you. And so I went to every person, like I went to Sig, and every person, and I got them to come, and then now it's every manufacturer that's cool in the game, and now everybody else does it too.
Trend.
Everybody does it. It's like event manufacturers day, but that's
The other shops do this. I didn't know that they do events at their shop.
yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I hear nobody does it quite like us.
Yeah.
But I hear it. But yeah, it's we started doing it, and like I remember when it was fucking tiny, and Daniel Defense was here, and it was tiny. Like we did Silencer Co. Day, and Ryan, who's now Ryan, the guy from Silencer Co. is now the director of sales, and he was like our little rep 10 years ago, and now he's like the number 2 guy over at Silencer Co. But it was this little 600 square foot shop, and Ryan sitting there in the middle with slinging cans, and then we have the lawyer in the back doing trust back when you
I remember
trust, and all these people, and we would sell like 100 cans in a day. Back then, in the good old days.
The good old days.
The good old days. What are you going to dress up as this year, Luke?
This year, I don't know.
Are you going to dress up?
If everyone else does,
We're all dressed up.
What about you, Omer?
I want to, if I can get my hat made in time, I want to do Arthur Morgan.
Who's Arthur Morgan?
He's the cowboy from Red Dead Redemption, and he's got a very iconic hat, and I want that hat. But
What's it look like?
It's like a black diamond top hat with like 2 things of rope going around it, and nobody makes a replica one that actually looks good, so I want to go to an actual hat maker and have him make me an exact replica. But all the quotes I've gotten so far are in the thousands, so
Oh yeah.
I'm trying to find one that's
What about
reasonable.
Nate's friend?
I'll say, little Nate's friend. Yeah.
Yeah, little Nate has a friend in Italy who makes hats.
He's over here now.
Oh, he's over here now.
Yeah.
I'll definitely have to ask him about that.
Yeah, he has a friend who makes allegedly like really cool hats.
are you going to get a revolver then?
Oh yeah.
What kind of revolver?
Nice.
This is sinful, I've been told by many revolver aficionados, but I want to get the Uberti 1873 Cattleman in 9mm so I can shoot it at the range without having to spend $1 a round. And everybody tells me if you get it in 9, you're committing a sin, but I just want to shoot for 20 cents a round and not $1. That's it.
Why not just shoot 38 special?
9's cheaper. I have a lot more of 9.
Okay. I mean, you could get Pistol Pete to probably cut you a really good deal.
I'll have to look into that.
Like just, hi, I'm Omar.
That is what I sound like.
Hello, Pistol Pete, infidel. I will need ammo.
Yeah.
Right? I will represent your company very goodly. No, I'm sorry. I'm so bad. It's horrible. Yeah, so, have you guys heard the news about HK?
No.
I have not.
And they really have kept it under wraps. I wonder if I'm allowed to talk about it. So, what is HK missing? What don't they have?
Concealed carry handgun.
They don't have
Civilian MP7 they don't have. Where's the SP7?
Now they're allegedly coming out with a concealed carry handgun like in 10 days.
Like a slimline?
Yeah, like a slimline, like the size of a Glock 43, cut for a red dot with night sights.
Yeah, all they've got now is the VP9 SK, which is like 26 sized. Which
No.
that's a little outdated.
No. It's they have a slimline, beautiful, allegedly shoots amazingly. It's been out for like 2 years, and they've been perfecting it here in the States.
Have you seen a picture?
No, they wouldn't show it to me.
Oh.
Really?
Yeah, but 2 of the HK guys were here, and they talked about how well it shot, and I guess they wanted it to be able to be built in the United States, and so they have been trying to perfect the production method here, and they didn't want to release it until it was completely ready to go, and it's completely ready to go. I think it's gonna be built in Tennessee,
Oh, wow.
maybe Alabama or something, somewhere north.
I would love to see what it looks like.
Oh, I think it's going to be a big deal.
I think so too. Yeah.
Because, I mean, there hasn't been anything, like, new in concealed carry that's come besides the Shield Plus. Like, what the fuck is with the Shield Plus? Do you guys know about how people are crackheads over it?
Yeah, I don't see why.
Oh, yeah. Probably not in your generation, but...
Shield Plus?
The Shield Plus.
Hasn't that been out for like 10 years?
No. It's a new one. So the Shield Plus, I don't know. I'm not that schooled in the lore of Smith & Wesson, but it's a 13-round shield.
Okay.
Comes with the 13-round magazine, I think another 12-round flush magazine or something, cut for a red dot.
Interesting.
And you get older folk who come in and they're crackheads about it. You can't just give them you can't give them a Glock, you can't give them anything. And and then they'll just leave.
All right.
But you ever heard any, there's not like it's not like a thing, nobody no.
I mean, well, I personally dislike the way the shield looks. That's the only qualm I have about it. I don't like the way that gun looks.
You want to see one?
I've seen them.
Have you seen the new Shield Plus?
I have not seen the new Shield Plus.
Here, let me get it. We'll pause for a second.
The Shield Plus. I'm not a Smith & Wesson fan.
That's your first problem, buddy.
I've seen this thing. Got the beam on it.
It's got a beam on it.
You can see it.
No, that's a special edition that we have in a radio promo that we got from them.
Well, I think the big draw of the Shield was when the Shield first came out, it was one of the first single stack 9s that came out. It was like that, the Springfield, and maybe the Glock 43. And a lot of people got those and carried those for a lot of years. And now that they're coming out with a new one, I think people just want to make that little bit of change as opposed to getting into a whole new gun.
The first concealed carry 9 that came out was the PF9.
Right.
It was the PF9 followed by the LC9, and like there was a time when like I remember having 2 of them at the Bushnell gun show in 2012 or some shit like that, and people were trying to buy them like crackheads. The Shield came out, I think maybe 2013. It was the first gun I bought for my wife. It was a big deal.
Yeah. When I first got my concealed carry when I was 21, there was the guy was like, "There's the Shield."
Did you get a revolver?
No. He's like, "There's the Shield, there's the Glock 43, and there is the Smith & Wesson or the Springfield one. I can't remember, the XD something." And I rented all 3 at a range and shot all 3. And I really wanted to get the Smith & Wesson, but I got the Glock because it just shot better, and it's the Glock.
What?
Yeah. But I can see why people really like the new Smiths.
We won't even get into that. We won't even get into how. Yeah, what do you think, Omer? You can say whatever you please. Speak freely.
I don't. No other qualms of it
see,
other than I don't like the way it looks. That's my only qualm with it. I don't think it's a sexy gun.
It feels pretty good in the hand, though, right?
Well, I can't quite tell with this one because it's got this mechanism to turn on the flashlight every time you grip it, which is very smart.
People love beams.
Yeah,
They fucking love them.
Omar hates it.
I just want to know what's the mystery of Smith & Wesson? Like, how do they have this power over the American public? When they come out with certain things, people are ravenous crackheads over them.
Let's ask Luke.
I think, I mean, it's a company with a lot of history that, like, I grew up, my grandpa carried a Smith, my dad carries Smiths, and I don't know, I feel like it's, for me, that's part of the reason. It's a company that everyone knows, even if you're not into firearms, you hear Smith & Wesson, you think of, handguns, you think of revolvers, you think of good guns. I mean,
Okay.
I think that's part of it for sure.
They're cool people. At least our rep is a pretty cool person. But I mean, like that new Bodyguard came out. I mean, holy Jesus.
Yeah.
They're crazy about that thing. You could sell probably 10 a day, maybe not 10, but probably at least 4. That many people.
Really?
Yeah, that many people come in looking for it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, when we got we got like 5 of them in last week, and people just started coming in, and I thought, oh, maybe you posted something that we got them in.
No,
it was just people
just
coming in asking for them. It was crazy.
Them, yeah. What's your guys' favorite event day? Like, what event have you liked the most here at Sharkrust?
Staccato for me. I enjoyed the Staccato the first time they came.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
it's hard to get them to come. Yeah, Heather came.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was pretty busy.
That was a good day.
What about you, Omer?
I'm gonna go for Glockta. That's a fun time. You
Yeah.
You remember how I dressed up?
Yeah, you dressed up like me.
Yeah.
And you
Oh, yeah.
It was so funny because all the employees, like anytime I would start walking up behind them, would immediately just like pretend to do work. And then look around, they'd be like, "Motherfucker, I thought you were Will."
Do you remember the video you made of me freaking out?
Oh, yeah.
And like you kicked the table in front of Glock, and Glock jumped.
Studied that for weeks. Your every movement.
I haven't kicked a table in a long time.
Yeah, it's been a minute. But at the time, that was very relevant. Just you on your phone.
I still do that. But I can, if I find the video, like, so Omar dressed up like me. He was real secretive about it. He got one of those shirts with like sleeves, tattoo fake thing, and he had camouflage shorts, and he got the Sig hat that I wore, and it's
Forget
very
the wallet chain.
Chain wallet. and he would have won the contest, but I think I overruled him and he didn't win.
Yeah.
And somebody else but yeah, it was embarrassing.
Lieutenant Dan won.
Oh my God, yeah. Remember Lieutenant Dan? Like this guy dressed up like Lieutenant Dan. I swear to God, I thought he fucking didn't have legs. Right.
Yeah. I remember we were looking at his form, and like his form said he was like 5'11", and I was like, is that before or after?
You tried to tell me, right? You tried to, yeah, remember he won? What about you? You like Glockta Wiener? What do you like?
Ruger Day, of course. No. No, I think one of the best days was the grand opening of the new shop. That was
when the radio personality got in a fight.
Yeah, but that day was just crazy busy. I think we had Danny. Danny was here.
Danny was here,
and that was crazy. It was just really busy, a lot of fun. Good to see people, and seeing people's reactions to the new shop was really cool to see. You know, people that we see every day almost come in and say, "Wow, this is cool."
We renovated our shop maybe a year and a half ago. What we're in right now, this used to be the production facility. The production facility, me and my wife, we bought the building next over the street, and we renovated it for our production, and everybody's over there. And then we slowly renovated what production was. It was absolute cesspit. It was so filthy. There was Glock dust this thick everywhere. But this really good people, these Taylor Construction from Sarasota, went through and just renovated it quadrant by quadrant. They would cordon off like an area, and they'd work on that for a couple months, and then they went all the way around so they wouldn't disturb everything that was here. And then we launched it last May and a half, and it's I'm very happy, especially with the walls. Like if you look at the walls behind us, I had 2 pieces of slat wall that I was trying to get people to approve of. And I had a gray one, and I think a white one, and what you see behind me. And I showed it to everybody, and my wife was like, that looks like splooge. It's the splooge wall.
The splooge wall.
It's splooge. Splooge, Poncho. It's splooge. Like, no, babe, I like it. I've seen it in places. It looks really good. It gets it like rustic, but cool, and splooge. And then other people wanted, and so everybody voted gray, and I said, no, I'm fucking not doing that, and I went with the splooge walls, and I'm pretty happy.
I voted for the splooge walls.
You did not.
Nobody
voted for splooge walls except me.
No,
you're lying.
That's not true, Will. We were sitting right up there behind the plastic when they first came in, and I said I like these better.
Really?
They're different.
You're the only one. It was me and you.
I was the only one, yeah.
You liked the gray, didn't you, Luke?
I did.
Yeah. What about you? Did you get the pick?
I voted for the gray too.
Everybody voted for the gray.
I was on your side from the beginning.
Everybody wanted gray.
Splooge walls.
I was like, no, we're going splooge.
Hold on. So, what was your favorite event day?
I don't know.
You got to say your marriage. I mean, I feel like that's
if I could.
Right
I mean,
there.
that whole weekend was really cool. Like the marriage weekend was cool, but I mean, like Mike Papa's coming in here.
Yeah.
Like the first event with Mike Papa's coming in and people coming in and having him sign their titties and stuff like that. No, I'm kidding. No, Mike Papa's didn't sign any breasts.
I was like,
people,
what?
people came in, like Mike Papa's flew in from Utah and spent the weekend with us and took everybody shooting on Sunday. That was really cool too. And hung out and like Mike Papas is like an idol to me. I think he's really, really cool. And like the story of Silencer Co., the story of Dead Air and what he's done for the industry. I really think he's just an amazing human. And since getting to know him, it's even better. But him coming to my shop and that was just probably the best. Besides getting married, you know what I mean?
Solid.
Yeah. So Dean, you just got back. How many stamps?
Oh, 2.
You got back 2
stamps. Yeah, for a Dead Air mask and a KGM 22 cans, both 22 cans.
So, okay. How long did it take you to get your stamps back?
Was it at the end of the 2 days?
2 days.
2 days.
Are you still waiting?
Took me 8 months.
Yeah, but you haven't gotten one since the new method.
You gonna make me buy another one?
Yeah. So you got the Dead Air mask and the KGM 22?
Yeah.
Why the KGM 22?
Because of their accuracy with being precision. So I want to build a precision 22 bolt gun. So I figured I'd try it on there, and I heard the Dead Air was really good. So I figured let's try them both.
So now you've got 3 22 cans and nothing else.
Yes, I have 6 22 guns. So
Checks out.
yeah,
How happy were you?
I was pretty happy. I thought Chris was messing with me when he called me. So I was
Really?
over in that building moving stuff, and he calls me. He's like, "You fucking with me?" He goes, "No, check your email." And I was like, "I'll look at it later." So I didn't really believe him when he called me, because I didn't come right over.
I've got colorful background, so mine doesn't come in 2 days.
No, I
No.
couldn't believe it was 2 days. I was shocked.
As we've talked about before, the suppressor wait times will vary, but if you have a squeaky clean background, your suppressor stamp, it's feasible to come back in 2 days, just like Dean got
That
2
was-
stamps in 2 days.
Yeah, it was so great.
What am I waiting on? I SBR'd a Strybok, and the last time I got a stamp, it was 60 days. But
Yeah.
I have a very adventurous youth.
60 days is not too bad though.
No, it's not bad. No,
Yeah.
I'm not complaining at all. But
That's what I was expecting. Maybe like a couple months. I was not expecting 2 days.
yeah, but they just love it's because you're the amazing Dean Carroll.
Hell yeah. Let's get
Yeah.
some more in there.
Represent. What are you gonna do with your cans?
One's gonna go on the Precision 22 gun I'm having built. The other one, the Azimuth upper barrel.
Wait, so GCP is building you a Precision 22?
Yes.
Why not just buy a Christensen? How much better can it get?
I don't know. We're gonna find out.
Why are you laughing, Omar? Did you say the same thing? Like how much better can you get? No, I mean no disrespect.
I don't really know, but I know I can shoot further making a custom one. I'm gonna see if I can
Says who?
stretch this out. Well,
No, I mean I'm curious. Can you?
yeah, they're shooting like 22 competition like bolt guns up to 700 yards. That's pretty crazy with a 22.
GCP guns?
Yeah.
So they've
They're
got
team shooters.
So their team shooters are getting 800 yards.
Yeah, 700 and 800 yards with 22.
Fuck, we should get them on here.
Should we? Let's do it.
Yeah, we should get the owner on here. I met him one time. He was nice.
He's a pretty cool dude. We should.
Yeah,
But yeah, you can stretch them out further, and I just want to try it out.
Yeah, I have no problem people buying. I have no problem people buying GCP guns.
Yeah.
It's we don't sell GCP guns, and they're a reputable company and they make good stuff, and I'd have no problem having them come on here.
But then the other can I want to put on, like I said, that Azimuth upper I got. They had
Azimuth
something-
upper.
Yeah, they machined a, what would you call that? Like a Ruger 1022 kind of clone. Is the action barrel. It's got a bull barrel, fluted. It's really nice. So I figured I'd put the mask on there and try that on that one.
Okay, and Omer, why are you kind of giggling?
Oh, just the question you asked.
Did you ask him the same question?
I did not know it, but did Dean ever tell you what the owner of GCP's opinion on Christensen arms is?
Oh, is it bad?
No, it wasn't. It was bad for what I wanted to do with the gun. I wanted
What'd
to
he
make
say?
a precision gun. Man, it was more of a hunting rifle, amazing hunting rifle, and I couldn't get the accuracy I want shooting out really far and small groups. So for me to take my Christensen and start upgrading it to be a precision gun was a stupid idea.
How many yards can you get with a Christensen?
Mine, I can still
No, like a
shoot.
Christensen 22. Do you have a Christensen 22?
No, I only own one Christensen. That's my 338 Lapua. And of course, I can get really far with that. But 22s, I'm not too sure because I'm new to the long range 22. This will be my first venture into it.
Oh,
So
God.
We'll see how this turns out.
All right.
And what kind of ammo do you use?
I don't have
With
anything
that.
picked out, but I am thinking, because I started asking around, Ellie Match was
Yeah.
what everyone keeps telling me.
I had a lot of that one time.
We used to have a bunch here. I remember
It
that.
was the only thing you could get.
God, I wish it was.
Ammo was scarce.
And now it's hard to get.
Now it's hard to get.
It's like, oh, I wish I would have got some.
Dean, would you explain supersonic versus sub?
And 22s.
This was a crazy one. I learned about it when you first told me.
So when I was shooting my 1022 at 300 yards, suppressed with non-subsonic ammo, it could not reach 300 yards. Probably 20 yards before, the round would just go any which way it wants. Sometimes over the berm, sometimes into the dirt. But they're saying when you're shooting subsonic rounds, it's going slow enough where the wind won't affect it because it's not breaking the sound barrier, and they can stretch them out further.
Science.
That blew
Yeah.
my mind. The slower
like,
round
wow.
is better for distance.
It's crazy.
That is crazy. And then I was shooting, and I'm like, my gun's zeroed. But then sometimes you would see the little splash in the dirt, and sometimes you wouldn't, and sometimes it would literally hit the ground. I'm like, maybe I jerked the gun, and I didn't know what was going on, and it had to be explained to me. The round hits subsonic, and it just goes any way it wants.
Who's like training you how to do this, Nate, or are you just kind of learning on your own?
Rick, the owner of GCP.
So he takes you out and trains you.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, it is pretty cool. I was shocked and happy.
So you guys just hang out and he takes you?
I only went out once with him this past weekend, but yeah, I went out, met him down in Immokalee, drove 2.5 hours to get to the range. And
What was that range like? It's called what? The Immokalee?
Immokalee Range and gun something. I can't remember exact the full name of it. That
Is it
range
just
is really
long
nice,
range?
though. No, I didn't get to see the other ones. The property was so big. Like we checked in at the building, and we got back in our cars and drove maybe another 2 miles down the road to get out to the long range one. But as you're passing it, you can see all like the prison watchtowers are all still up there, but they said like pistol range, tactical
Oh, it
range.
was a prison.
Yeah, it was an old prison. Some guy brought the whole thing and turned into a shooting range.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's really nice.
Omar, they have a night match up in Hudson, I think.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Really?
Yeah, they have a night match. And they want you to use 22 or pistol caliber.
Interesting.
You should shoot it.
I gotta get one of those EOTech nods.
Use yours.
It's so bad.
Hold on.
Do you really?
Yeah. I looked through.
Oh, because you're playing with Sean's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh, now you're wearing an EOTech hat. oh, look what he's doing. You're-
We see his game.
oh, is that what it is?
No,
It's crystal clear, isn't it?
the ones I had. Again, I didn't have really much of a frame of reference, but I thought that's just how nods are. Like the impurities I had with it. That's just what night vision is like. It's gotta be. I looked through his and it's just fucking perfectly clear. I was like, no fucking way. I knew it'd be better. I didn't know it'd be that much better.
From what I'm told, and I think you told me it, like all nods are supposed to have impurities.
Oh yeah, I'm talking more of like if something is close to you, it's blurry, and that's how it is with most nods. Is if something's like within 5 feet in front of your face, it's blurry. But I could read a book with it with the EOTech.
Yeah, if you focus it, yeah. Or do whatever, you make it to where it's clear, close to you.
Very cool.
That's the same ones you have, right, Will?
Yeah, I have the EOTech duels. Oh, the new wide ones.
So hold on. So why can't you shoot the match? You don't need the EOTech to go try it out. You both can go,
Fair enough.
right?
Maybe I'll borrow my buddies.
Use your equipment.
No, it's Saturday once a month, and you can they really like you can use PCC handgun. They want either PCC or handgun, and I think you can use 22. And I'm like, oh, I'll do that.
It's pretty cool.
Oh man,
Yeah, I can't load that fast compared to you guys though.
Load.
like reload.
whatever reload.
Yeah.
I can't do like you guys can fucking go fast. I can't do that shit. I was trying to do AR reload with knobs. It's hard for me, but I'm trying.
Takes a lot of training.
It does. It takes a lot of practice.
Yeah.
You know it's real easy to reload? The fucking TP9.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's hand to hand.
Exactly. It's hand to hand. Like I was like I've been trying to do the reload drill with the MP5 and it's oh fucking those controls. And then I remembered, I'm like, man, like when I did this with my TP9, it wasn't that hard, and I realized it's fucking pistol controls, and so it's real fast and real easy.
Oh wow.
You know, because you can't look down. You're basically doing it blindfolded.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, you're just doing it by muscle memory. Is that what it's called, Omer?
Yeah.
All right, you want to go?
Sure.
Well, we'll all go.
Oh yeah.
You should go.
I got to get a PCC.
You go too.
I'll go. Let's do it.
You can go. You can get a laser for your Glock, and they're not that much money. You'd probably win.
Think so?
Yeah, I mean you're really fast. Like you could probably if you practice with the. I'm surprised you don't have a laser on your Glock now.
I thought you had one on there.
No, I have one on my rifle. I just shoot through my red dot with a pistol.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I love like 22s with nods. I think it's just oh my god.
Oh, so where's this match at?
Somewhere like if you Google night match Florida, it'll come up. I think it's Hudson.
Okay.
It might be hour and a half away. It's like at 7 o'clock on a Saturday. It's once a month. The Slidell brothers go.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, they go. But I want to. But and it's PCC only. PCC 22 only.
Oh man, that sounds like fun.
Doesn't that sound like fun?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, I thought like my first match probably shouldn't be night vision.
You go and have fun. You don't have to really go to win them. Just get the experience.
I was talking to Wyatt the other day, the guy who remodeled the building. He says that the competition people are a little different. He says like everybody's really what's the word? Competitive?
I would say the opposite. When I
Opposite?
first got in, everyone was really helpful. They always stick you in a group because they'll ask, have you shot competition before? And you tell them no. They usually put you in a group with higher level shooters that will help you and help you map the course. You get so much help. I met so many people. I would say the opposite.
That's been my experience too.
Yeah. Everyone's always really helpful. And if there's one super competitive person out there, it's usually one and no one's really talking to them anyway. Cause
Really?
it doesn't fit in. Everyone's so helpful.
I want to do it.
Do it.
Like I want to start doing like the Florida multi-gun match.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Ooh,
I
that'd be
still want to
crazy.
do it. But the problem is it's on Saturday, but I'm almost to the point of like yeah, I want to do this and just go do it and see how it happens. But I have no fucking clue like how to do a match.
Yeah, you just go
Like,
and
I
they
just-
help you out. They really do.
Like I'm afraid I'll DQ and like do something stupid. Oh my god, you pointed the gun the wrong way. Fuck. Ah! You know what I mean?
I mean,
then I'll be
that happens to
Reverend.
some people, but it happens. You learn from it, and then next time you just don't do that. It's not as bad. It
Then
feels
there's the
scary.
Reddit post. Shark Coast owner looks like fucking dork. You know what I mean?
It's
The
screw the
fucking-
internet.
Oh yeah, sure. It's really easy to say when you're Dean. It's not really easy to say when you're me. What guests would you like to get on a podcast?
If you could pick anyone,
I don't know. Let's go with it.
let's see. For me,
Like with a reasonable chance of trying to get.
reason. Okay.
But I mean, it's I don't think it's that hard actually. So I think you just pay people and they come.
Yeah.
Like I think you give Snoop Dogg $20,000 and you get a half an hour.
That'd be sweet.
Wouldn't it be funny?
The podcast that would be crazy.
I'll fucking do it. That'd be
Don't
funny.
tease us.
Huh?
I said, don't tease us.
I don't know if he's allowed in an FFL.
No, I don't think he's a convicted felon.
Well, I'm just saying what he would do during the podcast. I don't think would be allowed in an FFL.
Oh yeah, you probably can't say, "Hey, you can't fucking smoke."
Yeah, you can't say that to Snoop Dogg.
You're like, yo, man. I hear you can't smoke in this place. Just pulls up a blunt. It'd be funny there, but no, go ahead. Like what?
I don't know.
I feel like one of the people that do business with Rumble would be one that we could tangibly get because Rumble's headquarters is real
fuck
close.
yeah, we could.
So like Mr. Guns and Gear, like Steven Crowder, that kind of group of
Oh wow. Yeah.
people who come down because I know a lot of them do come down to Sarasota to Rumble headquarters to do a lot of stuff. We could probably time it with one of the people who's exclusive with them. Mr.
Yeah.
Guns and Gear is the one that comes to mind.
Yeah, he's in Tennessee.
Yeah, but we could probably figure something out where he would come down to do something with the Rumble guys and while he's in town or something like that.
Yeah, God, if I only had more time. Yeah. If I didn't have to do anything, like if I didn't have to run around and stuff, I could do so much with trying to stuff. What about you, Luke?
Off the top of my head, definitely Ken Hackathorn. Oh, God, I know he's kind of a FUD, but
who's that?
He's like one of the guys who made IPSC and USPSA.
Okay.
He's been shooting for like 60 years. His content online I really like. It's just really informative. You can tell he's seen the development of like almost every, common gun. He saw it from the beginning to the end. And
I bet all you have to do is pay for their flight, give them some type of fee. I bet everybody it's not too exorbitant. I mean, because how can you imagine you want, even let's say it's $1,000. You say, okay, so you get paid $1,000 for a day.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's just a matter of paying people and flying them to Sarasota, they'd get get them a hotel, fly them, and then how well could it do for the podcast?
Yeah.
Right.
And I think that's probably how you do it.
And I think being in Sarasota is a big pull.
Right. It's not like, hey, you want to come to Michigan? You know what I mean?
Right. Like, especially if people up north during the winter being like, hey, you want to come to Florida for a weekend?
The harder thing would be to get Eric to film it. Especially people who have to do it at 3:00 in the afternoon. And then we'd have to do it while the store's open.
Oh, I would even do that.
Oh, if the guy's famous enough, we're doing it.
Oh, yeah, I bet. Yeah.
But then, we just cordon off the store. I mean, how cool would that? The store would be going on, and we'd be doing the podcast.
That would be pretty cool.
Take live questions, live studio audience.
Oh, whoa.
Oh, fuck. Maybe we should do that sometime.
Yeah. Sell tickets.
So who would you like, Dean?
I don't know. Trump? That would be
no. He says the same stuff over and over again.
It'd be cool to meet
Trump. He says the same. He's got talking points about the election.
Yeah, he does,
and that's all he says.
No, he's been on a lot of podcasts in the past few months.
I saw one.
He's been very genuine in them. I've been he was talking to Theo Vaughn about differences of being addicted to cocaine and alcohol because he doesn't know and Theo Vaughn does. All of his podcasts he's been doing seem very genuine. On his speeches and stuff, obviously it's all the same talking points, but the podcasts seem very genuine to me.
I've watched a number of. I have not seen the Theo Vaughn one, but I've watched the Elon Musk watch. But I just watched some dude and it was kind of genuine. But yeah, it'd be kind of cool.
Lex Friedman's trying to get him on Joe Rogan.
Yeah, well, I saw the Lex Friedman one. That's the one I saw. And he was actually talking like a person.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's, I have, so I'm trying to get Coastal Canine.
That'd be cool.
Coastline Canine. I'm trying to get them. I think I've got them. We're trying to think of the days. Mm-hmm. And he's got a really cool story. He was, Ranger Battalion dog handler. And fucking the story he has of the dog, there's some famous dog from the Ranger Battalions that he was involved with, and then he came back and worked for the CIA, and then
wow,
yeah, he trained dogs for the CIA, and then he was in he was in the accessory business. I remember him and his buddies were selling kit 12, 13 years ago at the gun shows, trying to get people to buy stuff like that, and nobody would buy it. And back in the day, and then he was the first guy who brought a dog to SHOT Show.
Really?
Yeah, he was the first guy to do it, to bring a Malinois to the SHOT Show and do stuff, and now it's the big thing. But
yeah, you see a lot of dogs now.
He was the first guy to do it, so I'm trying to get him. I have the guys from the Florida multi-gun match, they should show up probably next week, and then I've got John Hollister. If John Hollister gets permission from Sig, he says he'll come. I'll fly him down and have him come. Then each of the reps, we have the Huxford work guy coming, and then we'll have Johnny Glock back, and we'll have the lawyer back. And then I'm gonna try to get Mike McGowan here.
Oh wow, you're doing some work. I like it.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah, man.
What do you think? Why are you looking at me that way?
I'm not.
Give me fucking anxiety. With those fucking dark Turkish eyes, you give me like an anxiety attack. I'm like a.
You hitting on me?
Yeah, absolutely. In front of my wife. So who's the guy who died?
Paul Harrell.
Paul Harrell. So I'm ignorant. Who's Paul Harrell?
He's one of the original YouTube gun guys.
Like before FPS Russia?
Yeah, much more serious, much more practical. I mean, very fun, but he did very, very educational. I don't even know how to describe it, but I feel like you'd probably get a better shot. But he was terminally diagnosed a few months back.
Pancreatic cancer, right?
There was a huge push to get him to 1 million subscribers, and they did it. And YouTube even expedited, so he got that golden play button. And yesterday, he passed away.
Pancreatic cancer will kill you really fast.
Sucks, but
Scotch.
his memory will live on for a very long time. I feel like his influence still lives on to a lot of what gun culture is today.
I've never seen any of his videos. I gotta
Me
look
neither.
this guy up.
Yeah, his videos were like very educational and like serious, but they had like a funny little, part to them. Like one of his biggest videos was he put an entire bed out on a range and did drills from like being asleep, waking up, grabbing the gun off the nightstand and shooting, like from in the bed or getting out of the bed. Stuff that you don't see people do. Another big one he did, he broke down the 1986 Miami shootout, and he literally would hide behind the car, and he's like, this officer shot this many times, and he did this, and this.
That's really cool.
Yeah, and it's really cool, like long form videos. Then he was in the military for a while, and he would just casually talk about like killing people. It was just like, okay.
I don't know. What's his name? Paul? What?
Paul Harrell.
Paul Harrell.
Yeah. He had a weird way of talking, which was interesting. But yeah, just he's one of the people that got me into guns, into to just being fascinated with it.
Oh, wow.
I feel so lost.
Yeah, I've never heard of him.
I've never heard
now.
of him.
That's all right, though. We know now. We can check it out.
Did you guys go shooting last weekend?
A little.
A little.
Yeah, my brother has a little 22 range in his backyard, so we took a few shots.
Neighbors?
He has no neighbors behind him. It's a cornfield.
So what makes it a 22 range?
Like he has some neighbors, so it's just quieter and not as, I don't know. It's just 22 steels, and you can just shoot off his back deck. It's pretty fun.
What about you, Omer? What'd you shoot?
That's pretty cool.
What'd you do?
Johnny Glock dropped me off one of his combat triggers, so I was testing that on my 17.
More free stuff. So you got the is it the new one like for the?
No, that one's not out yet. He gave me the ones that he currently makes, and I tested those out, and they're very, very nice. On the combat trigger, I was having an amazing time with it. I was doing way better than I usually do, and then the pin that holds the trigger onto the bar walked out and fell, and I lost it. So I got I didn't Loctite it. I should have Loctited it, but I got a replacement Loctited it. So next weekend I'll.
Why didn't you you should have got Nate to put it in.
There was a lot of things I should have done. I saw the trigger. I fucking threw that shit in my 17. I started shooting, and I remember my buddy Sean, who worked for him for a little while, told me, "Hey, remember when you get it, Loctite those screws. They do have a tendency to walk out because they're the Ranger-proof shoes." And I was like, yeah. I should have listened to him, but
It was that good, huh?
oh, it completely like because whenever we go out with Dean and we were practicing handgun shooting, I could never get past, like there was almost a functional limit that I had on my split times of how fast I can get the second round out. And it was mainly because of I pretty much learned how to do competition style, like USPSA style shooting on 2011s. And I'm trying to treat my Glock trigger like one of those. And obviously that doesn't work very well, but it's definitely an upgrade. Didn't have any issues with it apart from that screw walking out, which has been fixed. Looking forward to doing more with it.
I'm thinking about running a Glock again.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Why is that?
Because we made like we took the Safari barrel, it's called the blowhole, Like, so Safari Precision makes a barrel, which is the blowhole, which is like an extended comp. And we built, instead of taking Safari slides, because we make our own slides, we made our own slide around it, and now we call it the glory hole. We're not going to really tell people it's the glory hole, but we're going to tell people it's called the Orca.
I like glory hole.
So, but and I was thinking, well, fuck, I would like to try. I'd like to try it with a new Johnny trigger, or I'd like to try it again. Like, I would like to try. It's really weird. Like, I would like to try to take one of the Glocks that we do and trick it out, like add the different stipple to it and add the Johnny trigger to it and add the blowhole and see how much different it is to the staccato. Like now shooting that, like, because I'm probably a little better at shooting than I was when I was shooting Glocks. Or maybe it's just the fucking staccato. I'm not sure. So I really would like to try it, and I really want to see like how good the glory hole or the blowhole is, like how much recoil it takes away, how fast how much faster can you be with it? Because I mean, in theory, with that extra compensating, you should be able to go super fast.
Yeah, and shoot really flat. Yeah,
shoot really flat, and with the Johnny, you should be able to utilize the Johnny trigger pretty well, and so I'm thinking like it might be a really fucking big deal.
That does sound theory.
Yeah.
I'm thinking I want to do it with you.
Understand? You understand? Like in theory, like where's it at? All right, stop. Hold on.
Made a slide around that.
Yeah, it looks.
Man, you seen it?
Yeah, the end of the barrel has like a bevel kind of to it. It's hard to explain, but it looks cool.
So here, this is the glory hole, or the Orca. Once we bring it to distribution. So the idea is we want to make these for distribution, and then like massive scale, but I mean, I want to try it. Like I want to try our stipple on it, and add Johnny's trigger to it, and try to shoot it like I do my staccato. I'm thinking in theory, should shoot really flat in theory.
Yeah.
But they're saying like I think off the Safari website it says like it's 30% less recoil, so it should just. What do you think? Are you a believer or non-believer?
I'm a believer in comps because I got to shoot Jason Owen's competition 34, and his had a comp all the way up the top and one sticking out the barrel, and that Glock shot so well in a way I haven't seen before. So I wouldn't have given you the same answer last week, but after this week of shooting, I'm a believer in comps.
Jason went shooting on Sunday?
Yeah, on Sunday he came out and he brought out his 34 that he had for competition. It had I think it was a Dawson trigger in it, and the entire barrel pretty much was ported at, it was a 34. The entire barrel was ported, and then there was an additional compensator at the end of the barrel, and that gun did not move.
You see what I'm saying? I see it and I'm like, man, why don't we try to make something like fucking respectable and cool, like something like that is made to shoot well.
Yeah, we put a stipple on it. Yeah.
No, well, I mean, like together, like we could do the slide, we could make our own barrel ourselves, but like it's easier if we just get them from Safari. But just build something cool with Johnny's trigger and fucking flip it. But I want to shoot it. I want to see how good it is. I want to see if we can go fast. You know what I mean?
Fun, yeah. That would be fun.
And you don't have to flip the safety, with the Glock as you do with the staccato.
I will say, I feel like you shot staccato triggers for so long.
I know. I can't even remember what it's like to shoot a Glock. But I mean, why not? So the Sig Fury rifle started shipping.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, it's right.
We got a couple.
It's right. You want to touch it, Omer? It's right there.
Sig Fury rifles.
Yeah.
Spear.
The Spear Fury. What is it?
So what's new about it?
Well, the Fury, the 277 Fury is. I tried to. I mean, I right before the podcast, I called 2 or 3 people from Sig and said, "Hey, can you?" Because the last time we talked about the Fury, TikTok got so pissed off that I thought, well, let's actually get a Sig person on and they can sit and talk about the Fury. and what it's all about, and so we don't say anything wrong, and people freak the fuck out like they did before. But each person I talked to from Sig said, I can't talk unless Sig Marketing says it's okay. So okay, Dean. So allegedly, what they said was the Army went to the ammo people and the arms manufacturers and said, we want this round that does this. We want a round that at 200 yards, it can go through body armor. Because what was happening was the 5.56 in Afghanistan was underperforming at 200 yards against the insurgents. And they were losing accuracy, they were losing power, and so the Army was like, we need something, or the Department of Defense said we need something that is going so fast that it'll go through body armor and neutralize the opponent at 250, 200 yards. So they developed that, and it's basically just a 6.8 round, but the ammo that Sig has that the Army uses is the high pressure round. And the high pressure round is the way to go. But the caveat to it is the barrels. So the reason why it's taken so long to come out with Sig is because they had to fulfill the Army contracts or the Department of Defense contracts, whatever we're going to talk about. The Sig has a proprietary coating in the barrel, which causes it not to blow out after 1,000 rounds because there's so much pressure. I guess I'm not sure of the word, but there's so much pressure and power that it's going to blow out a normal barrel. And so, and Sig said that's why you don't see him. Allegedly, Faxon is trying to come up with one, and so is Bear Creek, ironically.
Yeah.
But and then the other thing is there's virtually no recoil. So the Spear Fury is heavy. But allegedly, like even in the short barrel configuration, there's virtually no recoil to it.
Oh, wow.
And especially with the machine gun too. So the machine gun has no so you have basically, like a 249, but 249 has no recoil either. But so something more powerful, and you can walk with it. I've seen those videos.
It looks nice.
Omar,
We'll see.
it's a bold statement.
I feel like we've gone down the route of big gun, big bullet before, and I feel like it has led, like the M1A is what I'm thinking, the M14. Usually, in my opinion, I feel like what we've learned is more ammunition is better, and you've got 20-round magazines with these. The biggest you can go up to is 25. Your average guy can carry half the amount of this as they can 5.56.
Okay.
I understand it.
Valid point.
I think there's a very valid purpose for it. I don't think it's going to be an all-out replacement. I don't think the M4 is going anywhere. I don't think 5.56 is going anywhere. I feel like this will fill in a more specialized role of engaging from a larger distance and basically outranging your opponent, but I don't think this is going to be better than a 5.56 for...
You don't think it's going to replace the 5.56?
No. I mean, originally when the Spear was first announced as it got selected, it was like, oh, this is going to replace the M4. This is going to be the new, this is going to be the M5, basically, is what people were saying. I believe they changed the designation to XM7 instead of 5. I feel like this will be a more specialized rifle, not an all-out replacement for the M4.
What about you, Luke?
I'm the opposite of Omar. You said that we're going back, but we've always moved down. We were at 45.70, then we went to, I don't even know, but we went from 45.70, then 30-06, 308, and then 5.56. And I think it's coming back. It's going to turn around. I think our next big conflict is going to be with armored against armored people. All of our previous conflicts were against pretty much non-armored combatants. So like Afghanistan, Iraq, they didn't really have body armor, but I think they're getting ready for a conflict against a
near peer.
A near peer, exactly. And I think that if everyone that we're facing has body armor, everyone is going to need something similar to that. And
it's heavy though.
It is heavy, but I think we're becoming more mechanized. I mean, body armor, for example, wasn't that common until the helicopter, the APC, And with that mechanization, you can carry more weight with you and more ammo, on the vehicle, in the chopper. But I don't know. We'll see.
That's a valid point.
I mean, the concept behind it is very cool. The two different types of rounds they have is another question I have about it, because they have the hybrid rounds, which are what you're supposed to use in combat, that are extremely high pressure, and allegedly, from what I've heard, those are not the rounds they're going to be using to train with, since it burns down the barrels so fast.
It doesn't burn down the barrel. That's a misconception.
Think so?
Yeah, no, I know it is.
Okay.
I just called him.
Sig Sauer told you.
Oh yeah, I just got off the phone with him and I was like, could you please? This is why I was like, could you please talk on the fucking podcast, please? Oh, we can't do it, but yeah, I mean, John Hollister would have sat here and talked with us about it, but he's like, not without Sig marketing, not without their approval, can't do it. And I almost got the other guy from Sig to do it, but he's like, we'll get in trouble.
Rifle school.
So there's a proprietary coating inside the barrel, so it doesn't burn out. Get the high pressure
doesn't
round.
burn out as fast, maybe, but doesn't burn out. I don't know about that, because from what I've heard, they're using standard full metal jacket loads when they're training, and then
That's not what they said. They said the coating doesn't burn out with the rounds that are in that fucking $2,000 ammo crate over there.
Gotcha. So you think they'll be using the hybrid rounds when they're practice shooting?
That's what they said. It will not burn out, and that's why. And they also said that's why it's taken so long because they had to ramp up for the coating, making sure that I wish we had him here. Hopefully, we'll have someone from Sig Sauer here so they can completely talk about it. I want one.
Does look badass.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, because I think the coolest thing ever would be a SBR 308. Something SBR 308 that can shoot far and, nice and powerful. Because I think if the aliens come, you want 308.
Yeah.
You want something like that. But the problem with 308 is it just beats the fucking shit out of you. And that doesn't. It doesn't. It's right up my alley.
Cool.
Do you know how 6.8 suppresses? Does it?
It's a very fast round.
Right,
Fast rounds
right.
don't usually suppress.
Right.
very
I would only try to suppress it with the can that is made for it.
Right. Yeah.
I wouldn't try. I would not even think about trying to take it off of there. I would take whatever they've got. I mean, I know they sell it's tan one.
I don't even. I can guarantee you they've made this so that this is not coming.
Not
out.
coming off. No, not coming off.
Sig likes to secure their flash hiders.
Do you know about the surge?
Oh, the surge. Yeah.
That upper behind you.
SURG.
You guys know about the upper behind you?
No.
A little
Did you
bit.
grab it? So that's the surge, and only 77 of them were brought into or were given to gun shops.
Really? Mm-hmm. Only 77.
Only 77, and I got 4 of them. That's the last one,
That's pretty fun.
and I'm pretty sure I'm keeping it as long as my wife says it's okay.
Yeah. SURG Surge.
Yeah.
Suppressed upper receiver group.
Yeah.
It's basically like a Spear LT 5.56 upper.
The story goes, Daddy Trump didn't want operators getting throat cancer. So allegedly, there's a video out there. It says it all started with Daddy Trump, and allegedly, like they wanted to create an upper for full auto. Do you know more, Omer? Do you know the whole can response?
Probably not as much as you.
No, because
Cage.
Andrew's been talking about it for a week.
Yeah.
So allegedly, during the Trump administration, they tried to spec out upper receiver integrated suppressor, low back pressure, because when you're shooting full auto, allegedly Trump was like, we need to change that, and they came out with that, and that's the contract. And they had 77 in the overrun, and that's the last one we have. So, but if you shoot it full auto, no recoil. So
wow.
And is that a DI or is that piston?
It's a
you would assume it's a piston with that piston sticking out of it.
yeah. I would assume it's a
okay,
piston since
yeah.
it's a spear, but
Yeah.
The titanium cage is really cool. I feel like it looks cool at least.
If you see videos of people shooting it, like you don't see any recoil coming out of it, or very, very little.
And that will go directly on a mil spec.
It'll go direct on
M4.
it. Yeah.
It
Lower.
comes with a little adapter to take your buffer tube out.
No, I don't think this one you need the adapter.
No, it's a piston. It's not going to be using the buffer tube.
I still think you can put it directly on a normal M4.
You can put it. I know for a fact you can put it directly on an M4.
Really?
Yeah. I can put it on my one of my machine guns and go to town.
And you don't have to switch out the back. You can keep your buffer tube.
Yeah.
Yeah, allegedly.
Wow.
Pretty cool, right?
Yeah, that is pretty
Maybe
cool.
for Christmas. Can I have the Surge for Christmas? You don't care?
Lori, please.
Just let me buy.
Well, that was like my idea. Remember?
What?
So I had an idea when they made the SBR or the brace band a couple years ago. I said we should make a piece of metal that goes.
You did not.
Yes, I did.
You did not invent that.
Yes,
you
I
did not.
Yes, I did.
You have, I mean, Luke, you have like delusions of grandeur a lot.
It was-
You think, what did you think you invented the other day? Besides that, you said something like you invented peanut butter. No, you said the people of fucking Michigan invented peanut butter.
Not peanut butter Saturdays.
Yeah, you said Michigan invented Saturdays and some other fucking
true.
boisterous claims of grandeur. And now you think you invented the metal.
Well, I thought it'd be cool. You could put one of those, like, pin it to your threading, but then still have like some kind of muzzle device. So then that would be your overall length.
He did say
then
that.
you can-
I hate
Yeah.
to side with him because I made fun of him for it. And we're over here, and his shop wasn't built yet. And his desk was over here, and he's telling me this crazy idea. I said, Luke, you're stupid, and walked away.
And then I remember seeing this and being like, oh my God.
I forgot about that.
Well, if we're talking about that, I came up with the 9T,
Ah, here we go.
What's the 9T?
the Romeo, their new $4,000 red dot.
Oh, you came up with like two different zeros?
Yeah. When I first started getting into Black Hat, I went to our engineer and I was like, is this feasible? And he's like, it would be very heavy and it would be very expensive, but yes. I was like, And then they came out with something really heavy and really expensive. And that's the same thing.
The have you played with what's it called, the 9T? Have you played with it?
Yeah.
That one there? Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's amazing, huh?
It's insane. I don't know if I can justify that price tag, but that's pretty fucking cool.
Oh, well, there's such a fad, if you will, of people posting shit just for flex, I guess.
Yeah.
So why not? All right, I'll just throw that fucking 9T on a Surge and start blasting and creating content. And like, well, Lori, it's for content, and it's just a thing you gotta do.
I think I'd rather have the Wilcox Boss. That's the same. Wilcox makes it. It's the same concept where it's two separate dots for your super and your subsonic zeros, but it's also got a PEC built in. It's got an IR unit built into it.
Oh,
They made it for the Rattler contract because you have such limited rail space up top. Mm-hmm. So you can't have a PEC unit and a red dot. So you just plop one of those on there and it's everything. It's your dot, it's your illuminator, it's your laser.
how hard are those to get? Are they sold to civilians?
I believe so. They're just very, very expensive.
How much?
A lot.
Okay. Do you guys think there's a difference between going to a gun show, going to a gun shop, and going to a corporate gun shop like Bass Pro, or Academy, Shoot Straight? What do you think?
Definitely.
What do you like? What are the benefits of each, Dean?
I mean, like going to something
Like, so what's the like? I don't even know if any of you guys really go to gun shops, gun shows, or different places behind here. But like, what's like? There's a different experience in a place like us, a place like Bass Pro, and a place like a Tampa Gun Show. What are the benefits of going to either one of those, or do they all suck, including us? And what do you prefer?
I guess when I first started getting the guns, I was going to all those because I didn't know anything about guns. So, but more coming to something mom and pop shop, people like to call it, I felt I got better information. The people behind the counter knew more, and it didn't seem just like someone that's there just kind of holding the job, didn't really know anything about it. The inventory is what I loved before I even started working here. I started coming to Shark because of the inventory and the information I can get. And everyone was teaching me if I had a question, it was answered, and it felt like it was answered properly. I just felt the connection with the people behind the counter at something like this compared to the big box store, which is much better. And that's why I just don't go to those. And then the gun shows, I used to go to those all the time. But
Did you?
yeah, always the one up in all that Palmetto over there. The deals weren't good. And I just, why am I doing that? And then you started throwing shows here and coming down here.
I love the gun shows.
Yeah, I liked them at first, but then the deals just fell off.
Oh no, there's no deals. I just like going.
Oh yeah.
What I learned in my limited time at the gun shows is you just wait for it to be real slow, and then everybody's like, fuck, I gotta sell this shit now. And then you go ask for a deal.
That's amazing you learned that.
Yeah.
I try to tell everybody that, all the customers, like over the years, like, look, just come Sunday around 4 o'clock and you want a deal, you'll get one.
Yeah. Because at the end of the day, it's you either sell it or you don't.
And everybody needs that cash.
Exactly.
And you got to carry it back to the.
No, it would be so funny seeing, 'cause when we were working there, it would be like towards the end of Sunday, the place is pretty much cleared out. And like, it's like nobody left in there. And there's still like 2 hours of the gun show left. And like an hour before close, like a group of 10 people walking and they just go table to table and just lowball everything until something bites. And it worked.
Oh wow.
Those people, like I'd see people walk out with like, you know, a Danny M4 and be like, how much you pay for that thing? $1,500? What the fuck?
See, I would go day one because all the people and the atmosphere was fun. All the people, everyone's walking around and bumping. I enjoy that.
Well, you missed the quality inventory. Like by the end of Sunday, everything's cleared out.
Yeah.
Like all the good shit's gone. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I really like gun shows, trying to find, you know, rare shit like you know, Polytechs and, you know, rare 80s. Mm-hmm. You should just call them Luke guns.
Yeah. I was going to say, just sound like Luke guns.
Like Luke guns. You know what I mean?
Well, I remember going to gun shows with my dad when I was a kid, and they were the best. It was just like all wood on the table, you know? And those were awesome. Like,
what do you mean, like wood guns?
Yeah, like Mosins,
And that was the
SKSs. Yeah, that was the best. You could get like Mosins for $60, SKSs for $150. Those days were fun. And I just feel like it's less and less now
Right.
You know, but I still have fun going to the gun shows once in a while.
I like any type of like shop. I cherish the ability to go to one. Like any shop that's not my own, like any experience, I love going. And I mean, I really geek out when it comes to firearms. Like I love new builds and new stuff that comes out. I love seeing how shops are set up. I love seeing how stuff is merchandise. I love talking to people. Although, like, I try not to talk to anybody, like, you know, but I love hearing what people say about things. And I mean, I fucking love going to anything gun related, but I got to vote my place. I think my place is the best.
So I started shopping here.
A lot better prices than Bass Pro.
Yeah.
So I literally went to every gun shop around here when I decided to buy my first gun.
So we got a 22,000 gun contract, and like we have to customize 22,000 guns, and Omer has to ship them, which is going to be a lot of fun.
Oh yeah, looking forward to it.
And you know how it came about. So what happened was the person who contracted us to make them, one of the key accounts or something like somebody big. Mm-hmm. Came to them and said, "Hey, we want these guns," and they won't tell us who it is.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so it could be Bass Pro, it could be Academy, it could be one of these really big companies that our stuff is not in, you know, like, but they went and they were like, "We want this stuff," and they've contracted us to do it, and I'm really curious. Like, I want to know so fucking bad.
Bet you it'll be easy to find out once they ship out.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
No, well, I mean, they've got to go to first, but like we'll find out who they are eventually. But it's I mean, it's neat though, like because like which one is it? Is it Bass Pro? Is it Academy? You know, is it some, you know, I don't know.
You said, by the way, in case you weren't trying to say that.
Oh yeah, maybe we should beep that out.
Yeah.
Can't say it. But all right, we're gonna call it. It's been, I think, like an hour and a half. We appreciate you guys watching our podcast, and if you could, smash the like button. I know it's what you hear all the time, but smash the freaking like button and tell people about us and share us if you can, and watch the shorts because Eric makes them really funny. And if you have the opportunity, come see us in Sarasota, Florida at our shop. If I have the chance, I can bring you across to production so you can meet Omar, and maybe you can see Luke booking in guns, or you can meet Dean. And check us out on Instagram and on Twitter and on TikTok. And we really, really appreciate your support, and we will see you again. Look for the next podcast and look for all the new guests that we'll have.
Hell yeah.
Take care.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching.